Yes.
Invincible.
Mm.
Finally.
Sorry, what show's this?
Put it this way. In the amount of time it took them to get from episode 4 to episode 5, we've done 16 episodes.
It's honestly, when I obviously went to watch the episode today, and I was like, did we really only get to episode 4 and then we've had this long of a break?
Yeah.
It's wild that we had 4 episodes and they're like, yeah, bye, see you later. Well, who knows when we're back?
For literally 4 months.
It does, it feels like this is now season 3.
Yes, it definitely feels more of like a season 3 than a season 2.
But it shouldn't, because this is literally following straight on. And it's like, okay.
Overall, what did you think of their return, though?
I thought it was good. I thought it kind of moved at a pace as I expected it to. I knew he wouldn't. We had a bit of a time jump, obviously, with him on the planet, which kind of to be expected. And then it's set up the second half now, I feel, of what he's going to be dealing with.
Yeah, there is lots of spinning plates.
Yeah.
We've got the Viltrumites, we've got the baby brother situation, we've got his relationship with his friends and girlfriends, we've got the Guardians of the Globe, we've got Eve, we've got the Lizard League, we've got the Mars aliens, we've got forget his name, Donaldson's subplot.
Yeah.
Just all of these plates are spinning. We've come back after being away for 4 months. We've not even spoken about the time hopping guy that wants Mark dead.
Yeah.
Timeline hopping guy.
This is the thing. We came into this season thinking, okay, this is going to be about the time hopping guy and the multiverse guy, and that's going to kind of be the main underlying story. We've hardly seen him, which, like you said, there's a lot of spinning plates, and it's the episode felt good, and it moved things on in different places, but there's it feels like there's so much going on, and either they need to start having some of these reach points where they blend together or issues get solved. Otherwise, we're going to be getting close to the end and be like, there's too much to wrap up here.
I guess this is part of the problem, not a problem debate. Because we know there is 4 compendiums of Invincible stuff. Do they need to wrap anything up at the end of the season? Or do they need to wrap up anything major, like subplots they can wrap up? But do they need to worry actually about wrapping anything up, or do they just go, right, see you next season?
I feel
if we view it more as we want to progress to this part, rather than we want to finish this arc.
Yeah, true. I think it needs to hit I think it needs to wrap some stuff up and reach some progressive point.
I think we'll see a number of these subplots get finished off.
Yeah.
But I think some of the more significant plots are just going to progress. Which I think adds to the whole idea of you're living in this world and this is the speed stuff happens at.
Yeah.
This Viltrumite war's been on the works for hundreds of years across the galaxy. Why all of a sudden in 4 episodes' time are they going to decide to invade Earth?
No, true. He's been given time to try and sort out the planet, so
I think the spinning plates gives them a little bit of time to just kind of go, stuff happens. Not everything happens at the perfect moment. It's kind of like the thing you'd see a lot in shows where they'll be like, oh, did so-and-so not tell you about what? And then the thing they should have told them about happens right then. It's like, oh, that's really handy. Whereas this is kind of like, no, Mark's come back. Yeah, he's worried about the Viltrumites, but guess what? There's a spaceship full of face-hugging aliens that's about to come to Earth. We need to deal with that. That's more pressing.
Yeah, I do think, and I do actually think what they're going to do is they have a lot of these spinning plates and they're using it as a way for us to even feel like, holy shit, there's a lot happening that Mark's trying to, something's going to come crashing. And I think it will.
Yeah.
We saw the start of that almost with the fact that Rex was like, well, there's no way that we'd get 2 world-ending things happening at the same time. And then next second, he's on the brink of death and we're left on a bit of a cliffhanger to know if he's going to die.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Dupli-Kate's dead,
Yeah,
which was brutal, by the way.
yes, it was.
I was
And
sat there the entire time during that fight, and I was trying to like see, okay, how many Kates are there? As long as there's one Kate alive, she can't die. We're fine.
mhm.
And I was like, there's less and less Kates at the minute.
Well,
And then they like double bluffed us when like with the strangle, and she got out of that. I was like, okay, cool, we're gonna be fine now. They just want to build a bit of tension, and then he was like, I'm like, oh fuck.
as soon as it showed her like the last one and she was tired, I was like, oh no, this is not going to go well. Like, she hasn't got the energy left to be replicating quick enough.
Mm.
And then it's like, yeah, she gets caught and you think, okay, she's out. Oh no, it's over. Instantly. And then the one with I forget, the one that can go big and small, I forget her name.
Yeah.
The way she died
brutal.
was also brutal, because you're like, oh, she's gonna win, like she's just gonna explode out of him, and then I'm like, looks like she's getting stuck, and then it was just I was like, oh, he's gonna die, but she's also gonna die inside. Like, I was like, oh, they're gonna take each other out, and then he just like shrugs it off.
Yeah, when he goes yum, might be the most vile thing I've ever experienced.
I was like, oh. And
that
Rex
is what a villain should be.
And Rex getting screwed up took immediately. My brain's like, I remember you saying that the fans were like, or the people that have read the comics had been saying, everyone's not ready for this Rex redemption arc and where it's going. And I'm like, I see this now. We're all like, oh, he's finally becoming a better person. Oh, he now dies for it. Which hurts.
The theme I'm starting to see here, and I think it was kind of almost very, although this episode felt haphazard, not in a bad way, it was just like chaotic. It was all there was actually a very recurring theme across all of it, which is trauma's going to happen to you whether you look for it, avoid it, are ready for it or not. You're going to be traumatized by something. And that was like a recurring theme. Mark's traumatized about all of the death he's already seen and how he feels like wherever he goes, there's death.
Yeah.
And he's like being consoled by these people. It's like the death doesn't follow you or you don't go towards death. It just happens anyway. Obviously, you have Eve dealing with the trauma of feeling like her powers put more people in danger than they help.
Yep.
Obviously, Rex is going to have the gnarliest case of PTSD after that encounter with the Lizard League.
If he gets out of it alive.
Yeah, you've got loads of people stranded up in space right now dealing with some of the scariest aliens we've ever seen. Like, face-hugging style aliens are terrifying. And
they're a hive mind, and
yeah,
there's so many on that ship.
Yeah, it's not good.
No.
And then you've obviously got Debbie, who's like, is really interesting because you can see she looks at her son with a bit of resentment. Because all she can see is his father. And then she feels bad because she's like, no, but that's Mark. That's not Nolan. Yep. But when he just lands and walks in the door after not being seen for 2 months, all she can think is of Nolan.
Yep. And the fact that, like, she's still with Mark as well, but they're both still being left cleaning up his messes. Just means, like, she is not able to move away from this. Because every point she gets to, like, oh, I'm starting to get back to a normal life and move on. And it's like, oh no, psych, he's still an issue.
Yeah. And like with any relationship that you might leave with baggage, it's not like she can talk to anyone about it. Because how do you even begin to explain to a normal person that your husband was actually the alien psychopath that tried to destroy the world?
We saw what happened when she tried to go to a thing to talk about baggage. It got thrown in her face because they realized who she was.
Exactly. Genuinely harrowing. And then, of course, you have Donaldson's kind of trauma with finding out that he's died that day, but he didn't die that day, and his brain's been stuffed into a metal tin can. And Cecil just being so blasé about it. I kept it a secret because I didn't want to deal with having to comfort you about the fact you lost your body.
Yeah, PTSD is not just going to slow things down. We decided you didn't need that.
It's like craziness.
Typical government stuff, though, let's be honest.
Yeah, And this is the thing, like it's a recurring theme. Like they're all different, but it's all very similar. It's like this is all horrific stuff happening to all of the characters at the same time,
Mm,
but all in very different ways.
yeah. But we got a funny ending to the
We did.
episode. I was like, credits. Also, before we get to that, the title sequence, as you have said, bit more broke off, bit more blue and black.
Yeah,
It's going that way. But yeah,
that's where the season's ending.
We got like the end credit. I was like, okay, great episode. And then it goes to Alan waking up in the funniest way. And then he's just like, hello? There's no one here. And then he's like, oh, sorry. Because he moved and he started breaking the machine.
Yeah.
And he just like clumsily breaks his way out of this machine that he was in, the life support machine, and he's like apologizing for it, and then realizes, hang on, I'm yoked right now.
Yeah, Alan the alien got yoked. All I'm saying is, I've laid in bed and not done anything for months at a time. I never got yoked from doing that.
If only. Man really had like recovery gains.
Steroids.
Well, we finally got the reveal of the old man, which I said in the first half of the season.
We thought he was a bad guy and like a villain spy.
Still potentially could be. He could be double crossing.
I don't think a Viltrumite would care to double cross though. I think he's being based with us. Although I do have to find it very funny that he's ripped his beard off and that's what makes him Viltrumite.
Yeah, like, now he's like, oh my god, you're a Viltrumite. It's like,
yeah, it's like he pulled a face mask off to show like a really distinctive feature. It's like, no, it's just a chin.
Yeah, it's just a chiseled chin.
Yeah, so I don't know if that was done for comedy or if that's just like a really weird decision, but it made me laugh.
I still don't 100% trust him, because in my head I'm like, what if he's playing Alan to get Invincible there so then they can... I don't know.
I refuse to believe the voice of Optimus Prime is evil.
I mean, the theme is trauma. The viewers need some as well.
And I guess that's the other extent, isn't it? Alan finds out he was left to die, essentially. It was like, you were going to die or you were going to come back stronger. I wasn't going to let a machine keep you alive.
And he's like, so I need you to go get Mark Grayson. So like, that's going to be another thing, is him then going to be... I think there's going to be a recurring theme of he keeps getting pulled off of Earth, and it's going to cause issues.
Yeah. I'm really, really curious to see where his relationship goes, because right now she is being one of the most incredibly reasonable superhero partners, in the sense of, I get your job's important. As long as you tell me what you're doing, I can live with it. But it does suck that you weren't here when I needed you. And eventually it's going to get to the point of, I respect you, I love you, I know what you do is good work, but you never being here doesn't make you a good partner.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a break up there, and that's going to then, like, he's going to lean Omni-Man side of Invincible, because he's just like, everything in my life's going wrong because I am a Viltrumite and I keep having to deal with all these things.
Exactly.
So, be interesting. Hopefully we don't have to wait 4 months for the next episode.
I'm really hoping we can move on to like year cycles.
I hope so.
Not waiting 4 months between the first and second half of the season.
Yeah, I hope the next season they kind of have listened to some of the fans' grievances with this gap, and we don't get a mid-season break. I'm happy to have a bigger gap between seasons if it means the season just comes out every week.
I don't want them to do the format they've done, which is 4 episodes over the course of a month. Nothing for 4 months, 4 episodes. Nothing for 4 months, 4 episodes. That'd be worse.
Yeah.
Because 4 episodes doesn't give you enough time to feel like stuff's happening.
No, it doesn't.
So yeah, hopefully they fix that.